Evening PooTube, hope everyone's good. Now, as predicted, when fucking Jupiter's co-pilot moon was exposed for being the person that literally has run away to Hope Not Hate, done all this madness and whatever, ran away to prevent, Jupiter ended up sat with him and whatever. Now, like I say, as predicted, once all this shit comes out, considering Jupiter for 2 years has tried intimidating Dave, tried intimidating Crystal, means of blackmail, it will be swept under the carpet and Jupiter would talk about anything else. She'd talk about pyramids for 2 weeks, she'd talk about anything. Now, the target she's used to talk about something else other than what everyone else is talking about. What everyone else knew about, do you know what I mean? Everyone knew full well it was fucking Moon. Now, big up Luke, massive respect, has put the evidence out that it was Moon. It was Moon that said she withdrawn her statement and withdrawn the evidence. So, for all the noise of, oh, it was all these other people that that fucking collapsed the case or whatever, it was shown to be the exact opposite. The case was fucked up because Jupiter herself has admitted waiting a couple of weeks, so we're talking like 14 days, and then Jupiter's deleted the evidence. Bear in mind, she's on video saying that Hexer was pressing 999 and getting through to the police that way or whatever. Now, as we all know, days after, Jupiter was still saying, yeah, we're reporting it to the police. Not we've reported it, we are reporting it. Now, I don't know how hard it is to get hold of emergency services pressing 999 where Jupiter lives, but for most people, fucking hell, you'd be pushed to be waiting minutes, never mind fucking days after or whatever. Now, this is the problem with Jupiter. She's told so many lies. Dave shouldn't have had to been pressuring her days after to report it. Do you know what I mean? If it was such a big concern and all that, which was made out to be or whatever, and oh, there's a child at risk or whatever, you would have took your fucking shit to the fucking police station and got it checked out and got somebody held to account. Now, I think it's pretty obvious why she didn't do that. I think it's pretty obvious that she didn't want to give up her devices because she wanted to be able to continue doing her Hope Not Hate special fucking lives and whatever with a Hope Not Hate mates, Wendy, Moon. It's one of them, innit? Did Jupiter say that Wendy, oh yeah, she's definitely Hope Not Hate, I believe that now, blah blah blah, but she's now sat back with her again, isn't she? Now, I did do a video for Wendy. I was trying to give her a little a way out of a situation or whatever, and I said to her, for the couple of reasons that are listed or whatever, I don't put you in the same basket as Jupiter or whatever. Just being very lenient or whatever. That would be without going into the things that Wendy said and done and facilitated on her own live. Now, Wendy had put a bit of distance between herself and Jupiter. Jupiter even said that to me. People are aware or whatever, and that was just a couple of days ago. Now, obviously, Wendy's wanted to get on the back of a bandwagon or whatever to attack the group that's been put together 4 weeks and 3 days ago. The Shield. She wanted to get on the back of something else to attack. Now, some people will be aware. No, Danny Roscoe is aware because he said it on Jupiter's Live today. Rolling Thunder, another 1% bikers or whatever, was already around the Team Tommy stuff or whatever years ago. A lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people may not be aware, but there was. And there was fucking, do you know what I mean? There was a presence or whatever. It did bring a lot of light to the situation at the time. Now, the Shield has made it clear they don't want to tarnish what they're doing with the Tommy brush. Anything that gets associated to Tommy or whatever just gets written off as, oh, it's all far right, blah blah blah, and then doesn't matter how good the intentions was of the group or whatever, you just automatically fucking tarred with that brush and you're all far right, blah blah blah. Now, Shield didn't want to fall down that trap. Anyone that's actually bothered to fucking watch what's been going on from day one to where we are now would be fully aware of that. There was people that was trying to mix one thing with another and all that, and it's been made abundantly clear to them. They're not about that. They're not making it into that. They don't want another cast off of fucking Tommy Robinson, this, that or the other. That is not what they want. That is not what they're about. It's been put in place to make women and children safe to be able to play in the parks, walk the streets, turn up at events, etc, etc. Now, prevention is always going to be better than cure. There's not a lot you can do after something's already happened. You can prevent things from happening in the fucking today, tomorrow, the near future, and you can do that by having people like this on the street or whatever. Now, obviously Jupiter and Wendy have not got a fucking clue about anything. They're trying to mix one thing with another. They're trying to make out like, so if you join now as a random person, maybe you've got a particular skill set that would come in handy to that, to the group itself or whatever. They're trying to make out like that you're part of the bike fraternity and you've got to do what you're told and ask no questions and this, that and the other for fucking 2 years. That's if you want to be a prospect. If you want to fucking join the actual biker group to be part of that or whatever. Now, nobody's said or nobody's suggesting that that has got anything to do with the random people that will be joining Shield for the non-part of the biker group type thing, if you like, or whatever. It has all been explained. I cannot believe that these dumb well, I can, because they've always got a narrative, haven't they? How many things have these people attacked, realistically? Anybody and anything will be a target. It's like, almost like that these people are infiltrating from Hope Not Hate, Prevent, Antifa. It's a little bit coincidental, and I'm not a big fan of fucking coincidences, that all the people around Jupiter, so Bleeding Heart, Hope Not Hate Moon, Wendy, all the people that was around him at the time or whatever, and are still around him now, have all had connection and support of people like Antifa, Hope Not Hate, Prevent, the IRA. And when all these people are documented running off to make reports, running off in weird little creepy groups and whatever to try and bring Team Tommy down with the wild accusations, people like Wendy coming out of all sorts of vile shit, making out that Tommy, Danny Tomo is a nonce and a paedophile and all this shit based off the back of a load of lies from fucking Mandy Mosley. For me, it would create a problem of having these people around anywhere near anything ever again. But for some, it seems to be not the case at all. Now, I can't get my head around that. Now, when Jupiter, fat fucking Jupiter, can sit with Wendy, who she knows has done all this anyway, can sit there making out she's the big I am of fucking Team Tommy or whatever. Oh, I've got loads of connections, Dave. You don't know this, you don't know that. Issuing fucking veiled threats to intimidate and blackmail Dave, who is a fucking big supporter of Team Tommy or whatever, has a thriving channel with 100,000 subs or more, trying to intimidate him not to go to any further demonstrations, otherwise he might be in some sort of fucking danger or whatever. Is that a good look, realistically, coming from the Team Tommy lot, who already looked stupid when he was exposed by Clown World? Do you know what I mean? Was that a good day for Team Tommy? Was it really? Should we realistically have the people that was pushing that shit, the Clown World shit, going through all their bollocks for 9 months? They weren't questioning fuck all. They weren't requesting evidence and critiquing it. They was doing none of that. They was adding their worthless fucking opinions on top of that. And then you have Wendy coming out going, oh, well, you know, Danny Tomo is a that word I wouldn't have used. Actually, I said paedophile then. That's what I said. Danny Tomo's a paedophile. When you've got these people around, realistically, have said and done all that, why would you let them back in? Why would you then allow Jupiter any fucking time of day whatsoever, and then allow Jupiter to what? Hold the door open? Because, well, everyone needs a fucking ESO, don't they? Yeah? She's enrolling fucking trolls from Antifa who support the IRA into the mix. Now, if anybody from Team Tommy thinks that's a good idea, then more fool you. This will only end in shit as it did previously or whatever. If people around Team Tommy think that that's okay or whatever, it is what it is, isn't it? For me personally, I'm glad I left that shit fest or whatever nearly 3 years ago. So I think it is about 3 years ago. So yeah, I'm glad I wiped my feet on the way out. I think everything that Tommy has done and whatever, it's been vital. He's woke up not just the country but the world, and that was vital. But there is no solutions around Team Tommy. Tommy has never ever promised or even suggested that he has any solutions or whatever. He's got no way of preventing anything. All he can do is wake people up. You keep waking people up with no solution and you'll see what happens. Expect riots, expect problems, expect the worst. You keep waking people up angry to something that has no solution, and you will in turn create more problems. Now, Jupiter will obviously be a big fan of that. She was a big fan of the riots, pushing it, supporting it, even pressed the grift button. And Wendy both sat there buzzing. Oh, we've got a right job at hand here, Wendy. You know, hopefully it'll carry on longer. They was wounded when it fucking stopped. And look how they attacked Paul Thorpe for saying, well, if people are rioting and burning libraries and setting fire to hotels and throwing bricks at the police, they're not in my name. Look how angry she was that, you know, Paul Thorpe had actually done that or whatever. And then because people like myself, people like Dave said, well, why would he? You know, he's only going to put himself in a predicament for supporting that shit or whatever. Nobody wants to see these things happening or whatever. And under the umbrella of fucking Team Tommy, it just doesn't look good. If your intention is to get the masses to get behind you, then you can't be doing that shit. It is that simple. anyone that puts the name to that, you've just literally buried yourself. Now, Jupiter makes out I'm a big avid follower, supporter of Paul Thorpe. Show me the evidence. You can go through all my posts and all the things that I have supported or whatever. Show me once where I fucking supported Paul Thorpe. If he was an avid follower, avid supporter of or whatever, my posts must be littered, absolutely littered, with promoting that person, promoting whatever they're doing or whatever. I think you will struggle to find any, if I'm honest. Now, another attack Jupiter's done on Candid with Lubna and whatever. Yeah, I'm a big supporter of that. At the end of the day, if we want to have these open, honest discussions with the Muslims included, then you need the good Muslims to come forward to have them open, honest discussions. It is that simple. Now, the only way you would be against that, realistically, is if you just thought it was all Muslims, they're all as bad as each other, they're all rapey little terrorists or something. And at that point, yeah, we're not going to push Lubna, we're not going to give her no support, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, because they're all dirty raping fucking terrorists or something. To me, that would be the only reason you would think that. Now, Jupiter's saying, oh, well, she came from The Apprentice, she's been on the BBC, blah, blah, blah. Tommy's been on the BBC. So, are we saying that Tommy's not to be followed or something now because he's been on the BBC? How does that work? Fact of the matter is, we need people like Lubna. We need these things to happen. We need a sensible fucking voice, a sensible message. If it's from Paul Thorpe in the middle of a load of riot situations and whatever, then we need it. How many people didn't listen to it and ended up in prison because of it? There's going to be people now that are in prison for the next 12 months, probably the next 2 years. Now, Jupiter has done what has she done, realistically? What has she brought to the table of Team Tommy, realistically? All she agrees with is, oh yeah, I'm against screaming gangs and I'm against terrorism. Big wow. So was like 99.9% of the fucking world, or whatever. It's no bigger that, do you know what I mean, that somebody would be against those things. Fact of the matter is, Jupiter has done nothing but attack the people that actually do bring something to the table. She's done that consistently for the whole time that she's been around. Now, I am going to go over a lot of old footage. I'm going to show all the cover-ups that Jupiter's done in regards to Hope Not Hate agents in the mix or whatever. I'm going to show all the way up to Anne-Marie Waters' party. I'm going to show all the wonky behaviour when Wendy was surrounded by all these wonky Hope Not Hate fucking rats and whatever. The people that have made the site, that put Jupiter on there, that makes her a paedophile and all this. When they was discussing how they've changed hands from Eric, who Jupiter knows full well. Eric is definitely Hope Not Hate rat or whatever. But she'll use his videos, despite her being on his site that makes her a paedophile, she'll quite happily use his videos to push her own narrative or whatever. If it makes me look bad, yeah, she'll use it. She ignores the fact that you look a bit deeper, you look into the site and whatever, and actually it makes her a paedophile, it makes her son a paedophile, all these other things she'd rather ignore. Now, to me, that shows how stupid that woman is, or whatever. I think Eric put one out today, which just literally shows her mate Moon up, shows Jupiter up for the lying scumbags that they are. I only know because he was sent it earlier or whatever. I don't fucking watch these channels or whatever. I just get sent bits. Now, that video in itself shows Moon and Jupiter to be absolute scumbags or whatever. They knew full well what was what, and they'd rather push a campaign of hate, try using intimidation and blackmail against actual patriots, people that actually do support Tommy, not just for the clicks and the likes and the fucking pulling decent people in or whatever. The only reason that Jupiter and Ginger Tony and Hell Gower and whatever was ever having a conversation or whatever is due to the fact that it was Wendy and Jupiter that had gone through all that hope not hate shit, all that clown world shit, and seemed to be on side with it all. They questioned nothing. They added their worthless opinion to what was already just pure bullshit, to the point where Wendy's quite happy to, yeah, Danny Tomo's a paedophile. Do you know what I mean? So to now have them back in the mix, I'm just glad that I came away from that. I wiped my feet on the way out. I leave them to it, and you move forward to solutions. Now, there is free lawful solution. CMW have already been offering free lawful solution for a long time, and I'm aware that there's discussion going on in the background or whatever between groups like Shield and the free lawful solutions and whatever, because at the end of the day, Team Tommy's wanted very little to do with trying to bring lawful solutions to the forefront. It's one of them, and it's free to everyone. So I don't know, some people seem disinterested if you can't make any money from it, unfortunately. Just keep signing petitions, just keep voting for fucking pointless fucking empty ball bag parties or whatever, and then when we get bored of that and they've made a load of money like Anne-Marie Waters, yeah, we'll just change it again. Just keep swapping and changing position and getting fucking nowhere. To me, that is pointless. Absolutely fucking pointless. Now, most people that are awake and have been awake for a while or whatever, it's one of them, innit? If you understand how voting goes and all this shit, and it makes no difference to nothing, it wouldn't make no difference if you had somebody like Danny Roscoe in power. You know what I mean? You could all vote for Danny or whatever. What's it going to change realistically? You're playing the game with them. They're playing chess and you're playing drafts. How are you going to win realistically? Everything's stacked against you. The only thing a political party can do realistically is be a pressure group. That's about it. Now, in my opinion, there's already enough people awake. There's plenty of people awake. What we need is people to have lawful solutions. It is that simple. Now, like I say, do you know what I mean? There is enough people awake and have been awake for all this time or whatever, which are fully aware of these things. Now, for Tommy to keep doing what he's doing and whatever, and for anyone around that wants to keep waking people up, good. Do you know what I mean? Good. It will never be a bad thing, but don't be deluded enough to think that it's ever going to be a solution. It's not going to happen. Tommy has never, ever even suggested that he can bring a solution to the problems. It is that simple. So at that point, you have to put something in place which prevents these problems where women and children are no longer safe in their own country. Now if Shield, and there is other groups, I'm not going to mention them all because, to be honest, I'll just say I don't rate them at this moment in time. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm not saying they're... I just believe that Shield are the ones out of the, let's say, 4 groups that are also doing something similar or whatever. I see that Shield are transparent, they've been upfront, open and honest, even on the Liam Tufts interview and whatever. Do you know what I mean? Upfront, honest, transparent. Now, it's not to say that, do you know what I mean, people, even of groups like the Rolling Thunder or whatever, can't be pulled into madness or whatever. There was members of the Rolling Thunder that was pulled into the King's Flag scam and all this other fucking shit or whatever. And I think, to be honest, they're all the ones that did or whatever got the fucking hands burnt. Again, where was people like Jupiter when it was all these things was happening or whatever? Was she highlighting the issues? No. Was she doing anything productive? No. So when the veterans was going to storm Parliament based off the back of a scrapbook from a prolific scammer of 20-year history of scamming, where was Jupiter? What was she doing? She didn't say fuck all, did she? She falls silent on the fact that her handler, Wake Up UK, Jason fucking Tyler, was facilitating it, platforming it, protecting it. So when you've got people like myself or CMW or even people like Danny Jones or them creatures over that side or whatever, when anybody was, it's one of them, innit? If somebody's right, like Danny Jones or whatever, and he's pointing out this or that, yeah, okay, you know, a broken clock can be right twice a day. When somebody puts a comment in to warn people, you know, this is what they're about or whatever, check out this or that, where they've done whatever in the past, this is just the latest country which they want to fleece the fucking people of or whatever, of money, then there's an issue. You know what I mean? Any warnings that get put up, you should be able to have them warnings, look into what they're saying, have them on if need be and whatever, and explain what was what, you know, things to go and check out before getting behind such bullshit. Now, I put many warnings across whatever, and as you will see or whatever, Jupiter, rather than address, yeah, okay, you're saying Graham Craddy is now in my chat or whatever and he's from Hope Not Hate, rather than address that, no, we'll just block the person that's saying it, because they knew full well they had to remove Danny Simpson from the Hope Not, from the Amory Waters party, and they had to replace him with Graham Craddy, the Hope Not Hate agent, who their own party have admitted on a phone call, and Jupiter's fully aware of it. Oh yeah, he came from the Hope Not Hate crowd or whatever. He's had a little change of heart. We've seen all this shit before. Now, like I say, I'm going to go over a lot of stuff, a lot of history of what people have said and done along the way, the cover-ups, the trying to discredit anybody that points out the links of these Hope Not Hate agents and whatever, and you will only be left with, realistically, the truth, the facts and the evidence, and you can draw your own conclusions. It is that simple. By ignoring all these things and whatever, you are giving people like Vela, you are giving people like Ghost all the ammunition in the world that they need. So yeah, that's on you lot. That is on you lot. Like I say, I'm glad I wiped my feet on the way out. That's all I'll say on the matter. Right, enjoy the day, look after each other, stay safe, and for the decent people in the mix or whatever, don't believe these bullshitters, these wrong-uns and whatever. All you have to do is look through all the videos of the Shield or whatever from day one to where we are now. Even have a look on the Liam Tough videos and whatever. The amount of support is fucking a good thing, you know what I mean? The support across the board, it don't matter where you go, it don't matter if it's people that have joined, it don't matter if it's the group itself, it don't matter whether it's Liam Tough's interview and whatever, which Jupiter somehow thinks that he's trying to expose him or whatever. If Liam Tough's wanted to say something or ask something or whatever, he would just do so. He's not the type of person to pull punches or whatever. If he thinks something, he will say something. Now, people like Jupiter will always twist anything and everything. All you have to do is go and have a look on the actual comments or whatever. It's nothing but support. It is that simple. Right, enjoy, look after each other and stay safe.